Hi and welcome back to Normski TV. London is still red. We're in the red zone. Talk about parking the bus. Yes, Mr. Mourinho, you came to the red zone and you got done, mate. You got done. Man, listen, I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie, mate. When I saw Tottenham's side, and I also saw Arsenal's side. Well, first of all, let me deal with Arsenal's side first. When I saw the lineup, I'm like, okay, where's Aubameyang? Smith Rowe. I didn't expect him to start. I thought Pepe might have started out on the left. Odegaard as well. We're now finding out, I think, during Arteta's pre-match, before the game, basically came out and said the reason why Aubameyang's on the bench is a disciplinary procedure, and basically we didn't know at the time what it was. But a lot of speculation going on Twitter, you name it, a lot of speculation. Now I get to find out that he turned up late for the match day, and that's not good enough from a captain. I was quite disappointed, and to be honest, listen, Arteta had to do his job. He's the manager, and sometimes you have to lay down the law. And Aubameyang's not bigger than the club. You know what I mean? And if you let the players do that, then you effectively haven't got no control of the dressing room. So I'm glad that Arteta went down that road, made him an example. And it's not to say he was being vindictive. It's just that at the end of the day, you cannot be the captain and just turn up when you like, and it can sometimes destabilise the team. The whole mentality of the team. This is the North London derby. We want everybody to be on it. And even though I was crying out for him to come in the game, listen, you can see the score says it alone, 2-1. Yeah, so we win that game 2-1, Arsenal came out. Listen, we played well for about 80 minutes of that game. That last 10 minutes of the game, mate, I thought we would have won with 10 men. And we were the away team, because we started to sit back. And I don't know what it was, whether it's the fear of losing or what, or we just kind of went back into that zone, of sitting back. And it got quite eerie at times, you know what I mean? Kane, who always seems to score against us, ends up with a goal, but then it's disallowed because he was offside. It was clearly offside. And then another free kick which hits the post, and then Gabriel, mate, he heads it off the line. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic from the team. Generally, I'd say majority of the team played well. Maybe one or two that I was disappointed with, but in general, the team played really well. And as I said, when I saw the team sheet, Leno in goal, I wanted Cedric Suarez at right back. Obviously, Gabriel and Luiz played as the centre-backs with Kieran Tierney, who's playing for this. He's playing for the badge, and that is really fantastic to see. I mean, between him and Smith Rowe, Doherty on toast, literally, that guy got sold, man. He got sold, mate. He was getting spun like Sabalas. He was getting spun like Sabalas the spinning top. We call Sabalas the spinning top because he just loved turning on the ball. And this man was getting spun left, right, and centre. Tierney hitting that side, linking up brilliantly with Smith Rowe cutting inside, just creating havoc down that side, and especially linking up well with Odegaard. His work rate, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And, you look at Odegaard, you look at Lacazette, who got the penalty. They worked really hard, and Lacazette obviously got the penalty for himself. It was a clear penalty, even though Lacazette miskicked the ball, literally miskicked it. It was an air kick. But what was Sanchez doing? What was he doing? Come charging in, takes out Lacazette. It's a goal. VAR obviously was looking at it, but it was a clear-cut penalty. And I did predict who was going to win the game 2-1. But listen, in all honesty, we could have won this game 3-4, because we hit the crossbar, Smith Rowe picks up the ball in that last third, and he hits that, and it hits the crossbar. And then there was a Cedric Suarez chance. This was after I think after we went 1-0 down by an absolute worldie of a goal from Lamela, who came on for Son because he went off injured with a hamstring, and Lamela came on, and Lamela is a bit of a fiery, tetchy player, and I did say on the live stream that the likelihood is, if anybody's going to get sent off, is this guy. He come on and he started to put himself about, and to be honest, listen, they looked at the stats. I think we had 70% possession to their 30%. They had one shot to our, I can't remember the shots we had, 6 or 7. Obviously, none on target for them. And they really came there to either just nick a 1-0 or get a draw. Now, with the players that they had up front, you had Gareth Bale, you had obviously Kane, you had what's the other guy's name for Tottenham? Lucas Moura. Obviously, Son was playing before he went off injured after 20 minutes. Their midfield was looking quite strong in terms of Ndombele, Holberg. Obviously, Doherty was their biggest weak link, and we targeted that side, which was great. Obviously, Sanchez and Alderweireld and Reguilon and Lloris in goal. But you didn't really see much of Kane. I think it was the last possibly 5, possibly 10 minutes of the game. That's when he kind of came in and started to step up the game. And this is when they were down to 10 men. And that's when they started to play. Up until that, Josie came to park the bus. Yeah, he came to park the bus, and he parked it in the red zone of North London. Buses have zones. They got through the 1 zone, the 2 zone, the 3 zone, the 4th zone, or 5th zone, or whatever. This man came and parked the bus in the red zone. And yes, London is still red. Understand that London is still red. So you looked at that front three. You looked at that front three of Spurs, and you thought, oh my God, we're going to be in for a tough one. Because as I say, Arsenal, we have been consistently for the last how many games. Tottenham started to find a little bit of form. The last game they beat Crystal Palace 4-1. They been knocking goals, and it seems like they only seem to turn up for like the lesser teams. But when it comes to like Arsenal, and that was what they did at their ground. They let us have the ball, but this time Arteta didn't fall for the trick. He didn't fall into any traps that Jose set. Arteta this time outwitted Jose Mourinho. Knew what he was going to do. Picked the right side, even though I looked at it thinking, oh my gosh, where's Aubameyang? As I said, he was off for disciplinary reasons. He didn't actually even come on. And there was points where the camera was, on him, and he had his mask on, the early part of the game. So he couldn't really get to see really what kind of mood he was in terms of, the facial expression, unless people can read their eyes. But, there was a point where he did come off the bench and was, literally warming up alongside a couple of other players. And you're thinking, oh, he's going to bring him on. And I was crying for him to come on, because what I found, Lacazette, he did miss a couple of sitters. There was one where he dummied it, and I just didn't know why he just didn't take the shot. He came fired across it, but he didn't take the shot. And there was another chance that he had. Yes, he put away the penalty, fantastic, got the winner. But if that was Aubameyang in that position, we would have probably got more goals. But at the end of the day, listen, Arteta stuck to his gun, should I say. And when, Arteta made basically all his full substitutes, they panned the camera back on Aubameyang. This time he didn't have his mask on. His face looked like thunder. But look, at the end of the day, Arteta, you cannot be rolling up late, mate. You are the captain. You need to set an example, especially for the young ones. Yes, you're the captain. Yes, you are a talisman. And yes, you got nice cars and that. or get yourself to the ground on time. I don't know if they came together or they came in separate, but you cannot be turning up late. It's not good. It's not setting a good example. I'm hoping that as a result of this, Arteta said he's drawn a line under it. I'm hoping that Aubameyang has. And then we just move on from this. Because listen, if we lost that game, that would have been the massive talking point. So it doesn't seem to. It's not going to seem to dominate as such. It probably won't do. We've got the bragging rights. We've beaten Spurs. Mourinho's got a lot to answer for. The fans, the Spurs fans are not pleased with what they're seeing, the football that's being served up to him. What I couldn't understand is how Spurs, had one of the top 3 attacking players, and if you look at their goals and assists between them, absolutely ridiculous. Son and Kane having the highest assists in the league, 16 goals. Son, 13 goals. It beggars belief why they were playing like that. And was it Mourinho that told them? And it stunk. It stunk of Mourinho, man. It stunk of Mourinho. That's what Mourinho does. Yes, that tactic worked against Man City, worked against us at their ground. But at the end of the day, you cannot be playing that style of football. You cannot be serving up, not with the sort of players that you got there. I was saying on the stream, I don't know if I said it on the stream or I said it to someone on a private call, that if Wenger had those 3 players up front, man, we're winning that game hands down. We're winning that game. Yeah, but this is what Mourinho wants. And you can see there was a lot of frustration. Lamela eventually got sent off, elbow in, or it looked like an elbow, but I think it was hand caught him, but I think it was the intent. He already got away with a couple of tackles, which I thought when he first come on, he's putting it about. So he was due for a second yellow, and lo and behold, Mr. Kieran Tierney takes one in the face, and referee is seeing that, he's gone over to him and given him a second yellow. You're off, mate. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I know Mourinho was, running off his mouth and saying that Granit Xhaka should have been sent off, but fairness, yes, he made a tackle, but it wasn't a red card. I don't know what he was moaning about. As far as I'm concerned, Granit Xhaka, Thomas Partey, they controlled that midfield, and Ndombele got taken off. Holboy didn't do anything. We nullified that. And literally, as I said, we had Doherty on toast down that side. Literally, he didn't know if he was coming or going. So I was really pleased with the overall performance of the team. We done well defensively as a unit. Kieran Tierney, Mangales, Luiz and Suarez, thank God he plays Suarez, because he gives Saka that option in terms of overlapping, and he's more, for me, I think he's more attacking than Bellerin. That's my personal opinion. And not only that, when he does cross a ball, or when he's more technical as well. He looks like a footballer. He knows how to play those 1-2s and when to go and when not to go. And it's the same thing with Smith Rowe. Again, it's just his movement, his positioning, his footballing brain. Between him and Odegaard, they're a shout for man of the match. I'm swaying slightly to Odegaard for the goal that he scored, albeit it was a deflection, but he worked hard for the team. He was in those pockets, picking up the ball and making things happen. And so, yeah, I'm just buzzing the fact that, we've got the bragging rights, and we've beaten Tottenham 2-1. Yes, it leaves us 3 points behind them. I don't know how many points we are off of top 4. I think we're 10 points off of top 4. That's going to be a hard task. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. I mean, look, we can take when we look at this performance, and we can say this was a good performance, and I think we should take the positives from this and try and see if we can just go on a little run. At the moment we're 2 points behind Liverpool. Now they've got a tough game away tomorrow at Wolves. Anything can happen there. So come on, Wolves, do us a favour. We do play them in the not too distant future. So it would be good for Wolves to do us a favour. West Ham, unfortunately they lost to Man U today, 1-0. I think it was an own goal by Dawson. So I think we've got them next after we play Olympiacos in the second leg. So we need. I think we will win that the second leg. We'll be confident going into that. We need to. We've rested a lot of players. Aubameyang obviously rested for the wrong reason, but going into that Olympiacos game, he's going to be hopefully chomping at the bits and just have something to prove to the manager, prove to the fans, and prove to the club that look, that's the line's been drawn. Let's go out there, let's get the goals, and let's move on. And then we have another London derby, which is going to be tough. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I do feel that if we go there, take our A game, then we can beat West Ham. We definitely can beat West Ham. So game, as I said, the game finishes 2-1. The worldy goal by Lamela. You know what? I think I was so upset. I didn't even know. I think when the goal was scored, I didn't actually realise that he had done a Rabona. And not only did he do a Rabona, it was like a nutmeg through Partey's leg, and he somehow curled it around. He gets that goal. If that's the winning goal, that's probably one of the best goals you've seen in the Premier League this season. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. I was vexed. Not gonna lie, I was vexed, man. And but you know what? Arsenal showed character, and that's the main thing. They showed character, and this is what I'm liking about this Arsenal side. Yes, I may have been screaming at the screen and getting them to ask them to move the ball a bit quicker. Because sometimes what the impression I get sometimes is that it's almost like a little training and charity game, and I do believe that Arsenal have got more gears to go through, and I think they need to trust themselves. You watch them in their training sessions and they're knocking that ball around quick. I'm just wondering why we just can't do it. Listen, if we had just stepped it up a little bit, I think we would have taken Spurs apart. We could have opened them up. We could have opened them up because. Mourinho set up that side to come there. Yeah, whether he let us have the ball or we was controlling the game, I'll say we was controlling the game. And yes, to a degree, they let us have the ball. And then they were kind of hopefully trying to set traps. The likes of Kane, picking up the ball in the deep, and then Son, making that run that, off like playing off the shoulder. As I said, unfortunately, he's ended up with a hamstring problem, so he's going to be out for a few weeks. It just didn't work. They didn't have control of the game. We controlled, and that was us. What I was saying is that we need to control the middle of the park. Once you get control of the middle of the park, you now can get your front three involved. And what was good was, yes, we moved the ball. We was moving it a lot quicker than we would normally do, but I'd like to see us move it even more. I'm asking for a lot. I'm a very impatient guy. But, they were moving that ball through the lines. Thomas Partey, first half for me, done really well, was controlling the game, playing those balls over the top and just linking up with the front three, which was great. Granit Xhaka, I didn't hear his name, and didn't hear his name for the right reasons. He did what he needed to do. He didn't do his stupidness of, playing hospital balls and just getting caught on the ball. Still needs to probably make more forward passes than he does backward passes and sideward passes. A couple of times where he had the ball and there was a pass that he could have made, but it's just if he got his head up. But I think his whole thing is when he gets that ball, his whole intention is to, if he doesn't think quick, and so the easier option or safe option is to play the ball back, and that's what he does a lot of the times. And I think sometimes we need to take the ball on the half turn and be going forward and catching them out. Catching them out where they're not having to, going back in their what I call in their shape. So I think if we can work on that, but it might be the fact that we haven't got the players to do that, the technical players to do that, taking the ball on the half turn. Yes, Smith Rowe can do it, Odegaard can do it, but Granit Xhaka maybe not at that level, and that's why we're probably not going to ever make the top four if he's still in the side. But saying all of that, he didn't have a bad game today. He did have an okay game, so I'm not going to knock him. You give credit where it's due, and he played okay today. Saka, I just felt he had a tough game. They put a lot of players on him, 2 players on him, and it just made it really difficult. So he kind of got marked out the game. And then when he did have the ball, I think his decision making, it just wasn't coming off. The passes wasn't coming off, and that, and rightly so. He got taken off, and Pepe came on for him. So a change was made early in the second half. I didn't think he came out for the second half. I think that the change was made. So, it is what it is. But listen, Saka tired, and I think he just probably needs a rest. But I'm gonna go quickly now into the player ratings, and gonna start off with Leno in goal. I had to pick the ball out the back of the net. I'm giving Leno a 6. Cedric Suarez played really well, linked up well with Saka, and does what he does. He's a very good right back. I think he's a lot better than Bellerin. I'm giving Cedric Suarez a 7. David Luiz and Gabriel Magalhaes, I'm going to both give them a 7 as well. I think they've done really well. They marshalled Kane, literally kept him very quiet, didn't really hear his name. So I'm giving them both a 7. Also, Tierney, I'm going to give a 7 as well. Played really well, linked up well with Smith Rowe, kept Gareth Bale quiet, just gave hell to Doherty between him and Smith Rowe. They've done brilliant well, played in a lot of crosses and that. The only problem with Arsenal, we just need more bodies in the box. Need more bodies in the box. So I'm giving them a 7. In the middle of the park, Thomas Partey, I'm going to give Thomas Partey a 6. He played okay for the first half, but the second half he tired a bit, and there was a couple of sloppy balls, and he gave a couple of balls away. So if I was going to mark him for the second half, I would probably give him about a 4. But the first half, he played a lot better. So I'm just going to average it out and give him a 6. Granit Xhaka, I felt played really well, done really well, really does well playing alongside Thomas Partey. I'm going to give Granit Xhaka I'm giving a lot of 7s here now. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. Saka didn't really have one of his best games today. Obviously got substituted. I'm going to give Saka a 4. I know it's low, but I just didn't think he played well today. Odegaard got the goal, controlled, in terms of working well with the midfield, in terms of Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey linking up really well with them and finding the space and creating, making sure that ball was getting to the front three. I'm going to give Odegaard an 8. I'm also going to give him man of the match as well. He's done really well in the last few games, and he's started to, he's hit the ground running, scored a goal in the North London derby. So that's a nice one, a nice feather in your cap. So that's absolutely brilliant. Smith Rowe as well. I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I think he played really well as well. I'm not going to give him man of the match, but I'm going to give him an 8. Just terrorised Doherty. Got the assist for Odegaard. So that was absolutely fantastic. And then up front, Lacazette, who got the penalty, won the penalty, scored the penalty. I'm giving him a 7 as well. Worked hard for the team. Absolutely pleased with what he's doing. In terms of the subs, Nicolas Pepe came on for Saka. I'm giving Pepe, came on. There was a chance that he had, but fluffed it. And I mean, he was okay. He was okay. I'm gonna give Pepe. I think he was the one that set up the pass for Lacazette, and Julie Lacazette gets the penalty. I'm gonna give Pepe a 6. Willian came on. I didn't feel he did anything, to be honest. Be quite perfectly honest. And one thing about Willian is that when he picks up the ball, the Willian of old who used to play for Chelsea, who used to run out defences. But what he does, he tends to pick up the ball, run, and then stops and turns back and plays the ball backwards. And I don't know if it's a lack of confidence or what. He has been playing well in the few games. He's getting some assists and that, but didn't really make an impact on the game. He came on for Smith Rowe. Giving Willian a 4. Mohamed El Nene came on for Lacazette just to shore up the game in the last, it wasn't, listen, giving El Nene a 2, because you didn't really see much of him. But listen, the last 10 minutes, was really shaky. We looked like the team that had 10 men and they were going for it. And I don't know why they didn't go for it with 11 men, but that's Mourinho for you, you know what I mean? Arteta, I'm going to give Arteta a 9. He was brave in terms of the team that he picked. He was brave to drop the Aubameyang, but the proof is in the pudding. We've come out, we won that game 2-1. He's outwitted Mourinho, didn't fall into the traps. And yeah, you got to give credit where credit is due. So I'm going to give Arteta a 9. The referee, I'm going to give the referee a 4. I felt that he should have booked Lamela earlier a couple of times. He got away with it. Obviously, he got sent off in the end. Yeah, I'm going to give the referee a 4. He wasn't controversial, but you know me and referees, so I'm giving him a 4. But listen, it's great. London is in the red zone, still in the red zone, the danger zone. Yeah, Mourinho, you came to the danger zone and you got taken apart. Arsenal, well done. Fantastic weekend. Brilliant. We go into the Champions League second leg, 3-1 up. Let's win that. And then we move on to West Ham away in another London derby. Fantastic weekend. Brilliant. Please, guys, thank you for, being on the stream, making your comments and that. And hopefully we'll do some more streams. I'm hoping to do a What's Going On podcast this week. So look out for that. Just to talk about all things Arsenal and the rest of the Premier League. Hopefully to link up with Dave and Kofi, just talk about how our separate teams done, and hopefully we'll have a laugh, a bit of a banter, and just see how we go. But listen, guys, thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.